Hare Krishna. ओम अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं सावधूतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेव श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगना ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च नमामि विष्णुपादाय कृष्णविष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरोर्भ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। So welcome all of you. So as we find in Bhagavad Gita this, in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Krishna is talking about Bhakti Yoga, as he is summarizing all the things in the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So in 2.40, Krishna says, Neha vikrama nashosti pratyavayo na vidyate swalpam api asya dharmasya trayate mahato bhayat. This is a very famous shloka, very famous verse, where Krishna is advertising the glory of Bhakti Yoga. So Krishna is telling Neha Vikram. This Neha is not the name of someone. Na Iha. Iha means in this material world. So Krishna is telling Neha Vikrama Nashosti. Na Iha. In this material world, Abhikram. Whatever prayas, जो भी हम endeavor देते हैं भक्ति के लिए, अभिक्रम means endeavor, प्रयास, नाशोस्ति, वो कभी नाश नहीं होता है. Any endeavor done on the path of bhakti is never a loss. Any sacrifice done for Krishna is always a gain. Any effort done for pleasing Krishna is always retained. Nashosti, pratyavayo namityate. It never get lost. It never get diminished. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya. In fact, even a little endeavor on such a path, swalpam, even a little endeavor on the path of bhakti, trayate, it can deliver mahato bhayat, from the great fear. Little endeavor on the path of bhakti can deliver one from the great fear. So the beauty of Krishna consciousness is that any endeavor done on the path of bhakti, it will never get destroyed. And it will never get reduced. And it can help one in the time of greatest crisis. These three are very special conditions. Because actually whatever we do in this world gets lost. No matter how hard we are trying and whatever we are doing, but with the power of time, it's going to get lost. Whatever we build today will get destroyed tomorrow. Whatever we earn today will get spent tomorrow. No matter how much health we develop, it will get deteriorated tomorrow. No matter whatever relationships we get into, it gets terminated tomorrow. No matter whatever we accumulate, but it gets lost tomorrow. And that's why Bible says that, make your treasure in another world. Don't make your treasure in the world where it can be stolen by the thieves, it can be rusted by the moisture, it can be eaten by the moths, right? So Bible is also indicating towards this principle of bhakti. So Krishna is telling the first nature of this endeavor in bhakti is it doesn't get destroyed. Such a big thing like that. Generally people want to have a permanent life, permanent settlement. And that's why they're trying their best to have a permanent job, permanent house, right? Everything permanent. But what to do, the very foundation of this material world is there's nothing permanent. But this is one endeavor. Whatever endeavor we do in bhakti, whatever we do in this world, we do PhD in this life, and how much effort we have to make. For pass the 10th and the 12th and then the graduation, everywhere it's like full of pains. Submissions and vivas, exams, so many things. But even a PhD of this life has to start from the play school. How cruel is the nature of material world. But efforts in bhakti are permanent, never get destroyed. And second thing is it never get diminished. By the passage of time in this material world, whatever is highest sometimes becomes lowest, right? Demonetization happened, then the notes were being the currency which was inside the locker were on the roads. Is it not? Nobody was there. And in Russia and all also you find that communism spread, right? People were giving the buckets of notes to have one biscuit or to have a packet of bread. So in this world, the things get destroyed. And the second is it get diminished. No matter how hard we are putting efforts, but it get diminished after a period of time. Like there are many arts, but now they do not have much value. People were knowing how to make pots and so many different arts. But bhakti is such a thing, never get destroyed and never get diminished. And the third important thing in the process of bhakti is it can help us in the greatest crisis. It can deliver us from the greatest danger. In the material world, what connections we have? One thing is they can destroy it, and the another challenge is what? That at any point of time, they can get lost. Like that. At any point of time, they can get lost. And third thing is, when we are actually in the crisis, we find whatever relationship with your Vedic literature. In just one verse, Krishna is giving such promising reasons that one should practice bhakti. Krishna is giving such promising reasons. Krishna is telling it, whatever endeavor you do in bhakti, it never get destroyed, it never get diminished, and it can help you. Actually, we are doing everything to face the crisis. Generally, for a simple person to sustain any personality, any living entity to sustain, he requires very less. He has to eat 3-4 chapatis in a day, and then 3-4 chapatis in the evening, and maybe little bit things here and there, some defense, some place to stay, some clothes to wear, right? Very less he requires to sustain. But he is always fearing, what if some crisis comes, like that. But actually, when the crisis comes, we find that the wealth and the connections and everything of this world does not help much, like that. So spiritual life and the endeavors in spiritual lives is so beautiful, and that so much appreciated by Krishna. They were never destroyed, they are never diminished, and they will help us in the real crisis. And then in the next verse, Krishna explains how, when one understands that this is something so rare, something so special, how one should execute this process of bhakti. Vyavasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana bahushakhanantasya buddhayo vyavasayinam. Krishna is telling you, do your bhakti as you are doing your business. So I believe not many businessmen over here, right? But Krishna's suggestion is you do your bhakti as you do your business. So you ask somebody who is actually a businessman from business family, how they do the business, how they are counting the money, right? So they are very cautious. So Krishna is telling, व्यवसायत्मिका, वो व्यवसाय उसकी आत्मा है. एक बुद्धि से वो लगा रहता है व्यवसाय में. ऐसे हमको भक्ति करना चाहिए. तो भगवान बोल रहे हैं, जैसे बिजनेसमैन बिजनेस करता है, वैसे हमको भक्ति करना चाहिए. जैसे बिजनेसमैन भक्ति कर रहा है, वैसे उसको बिजनेस नहीं करना चाहिए. इसका रिवर्स करेगा तो बहुत प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा उसको. तो जैसे बिजनेस कर रहा है वैसे भक्ति करना चाहिए, लेकिन जैसे भक्ति कर रहा है वैसे बिजनेस नहीं करना चाहिए. क्योंकि भक्ति वो कैसे कर रहा है उसको पता है, भगवान को भी पता है. वैसे भक्ति कर रहा है वैसे बिजनेस करेगा, बिजनेस तो डूब जाएगा उसका. लेकिन अगर जैसे बिजनेस कर रहा है वैसे अगर वो भक्ति करेगा तो भक्ति फ्लरिश हो जाएगा उसका. तो वन पॉइंटेड अटेंशन से Prabhupada says it with resolute determination one should practice bhakti. And great determination one should practice bhakti. One should practice bhakti with one pointed attention, with resolute determination. So that is why this topic which generally comes of New Year resolutions, because the modern world is an age where people are not accustomed to keep resolutions like that. People are not accustomed to fix anything. They are not accustomed to remain steady. They are always changing. So again and again they look for celebrations, right? Because practically there's no joy in the modern way of living. So they are looking for joy. They want so many celebrations. If you go now, birthday, celebration, anniversary, celebration, New Year, celebration, Lodi, celebration. You go 50 years back, you ask a person, what is your birthday? He might not be knowing. Right? He might not be knowing what is his birthday, right? And you go 50 years back, hardly anybody celebrating their anniversaries, marriage anniversaries, or this or that. Is it not? Even New Year also. Why? Because Vedic life was a life of consistent celebration. You don't need to invent celebration like that. Because they were living life itself as a celebration. They were living such a healthy life. It was a life of celebration because they were living a life based on Vedic principle, life of joy, life of giving, life of selflessness. So modern culture, they have to invent celebration like that. But what kind of celebration in the New Year parties you find? What the students do, what the youths are doing? They go out on the street, they are drinking, they are smoking, they are dancing, loitering on the street. That's it. They cannot think anything. But that was their everyday affair, anyways. Like that. So it doesn't make New Year anything new. It's just the same thing, same old thing. But because people are so bored with the old thing, we want something new. Like that. So when we want to make something new, as a devotees, we can appreciate this concept more because as non-devotees, they cannot appreciate. Their life is already done. Ahar, nidra, bhema, thunam sha. They cannot think anything beyond that. So when you want to change something, so first step in the change is, first step towards getting somewhere is to decide that I'm not going to stay where I am. That is the first step. Now, when people change locations, generally when people change homes, when people change locations, when people change their place of stay. So it begins with first they are adjusting. But at one point they decide, no more here. That is the first step of change. They decide, no more here. I am not going to stay here. Like that. And that's where they think that, okay, something better. Because his life is about change. Change for something better. So whenever we take some efforts according to the scriptures in a direction of positive change, like that. So the change is sometimes pleasurable, sometimes painful. But if it is according to the scripture and in the right direction, it's always beautiful. Like that. Because not necessary that every change will be pleasurable. It may be painful, but it's always beautiful when it is in the right direction according to the scriptures. Like that. Why? Because it will help us to go closer to Krishna. So when we understand the journey of life is not easy, like that. And the goal of life is also not to make it easy. The goal is to live it worth, to live a worthy life, not necessarily an easy life, like that. So then we think that, okay, I have to make some change, like that. So for a devotee, it's a good opportunity. Like Raishyam, life is like a book. And whatever years we have spent, those many pages are already over. New Year, it's like you get a new notebook with 365 pages. Whatever old notebooks, we have finished it off and written whatever, but we have an opportunity to write it fresh now, like that. So what makes Krishna, what makes a new year new for a devotee? As such, spiritual life is always fresh. Nav Navayaman. It's always new. Every day is new day, right? Every day we get up for Mangalarti, we attend. Every day is a new day. What is new? It's not that there's something special happens in the day was 24 hours now. First January will be 26 hours. Or the temperature will suddenly shoot up to 26 degrees from 4 or 3 and you will be out on the streets. Right. What is new is an opportunity to have a better consciousness, a new consciousness. Life means consciousness, like that. It's not a length. It's not a length of life, it's a consciousness. A devotee is always striving for a newer and better consciousness to serve Krishna, like that. So when we are working on ourselves, when we are working on our consciousness, when we are practicing Krishna consciousness, then every week is a new week, every month is a new month, every day is a new day, and then every year it becomes a new year, like that. How important it is to reflect on. We find that these are the opportunities, our birthday or the new year, these are the times of reflection. Srimad Bhagavatam says, Ayurharti Vyapumsam Uddyannasto Chayannaso. So Srimad Bhagavatam says that Ayurharti Vyapumsam Uddyannasto Chayannaso. So sun is rising and sun is setting, and one day is being subtracted from our life, like that. And in this material world, how the time is flowing, right? Time is such a powerful energy. All the 24 elements of creation are there, like that. And then the time enters. And when the time activates everything, then everything starts into motion, like that. And the time never stops. There was 2020, then 2000. Somebody was telling in 2020 the world will get destroyed. There were some rumors like that. In 2021, 22, now 2023. See how the time is passing, like that. You know, we were in the schools, then in the colleges, now we are in the jobs at different places. Like that. How we utilize time will determine the value of our life. So New Year is a time of reflection. It's a time of reflection to thank what has happened in the past, to thank all the devotees because of which I could celebrate so many festivals, to thank all the devotees because of them I could attend so many yatras, to thank all the devotees in their association I could do so many services, like that. Every devotee has contributed so much in our life. And because of that, we are practicing Krishna consciousness today, like that. Every single devotee. So, time of reflection means thanking what good others have done in our lives. Just this act of thanking others will fill our heart with so much of joy, like that. That actually so many people contributed in my life, in me being a devotee, so many supporting hands are there, so many well-wishing, so many well-wishers are there, so many blessings, so much blessings are involved, like that. So we should remember what good others have done to us, like that. And we should also remember what mistakes I committed. So it's a time of reflection. Huh? What all are the common mistakes which are still a part of my life? What all are the mistakes which are obstructing me to run faster towards Krishna? What are the things in my life which are not allowing me to embrace Krishna consciousness fully? Like that. So it's important. One may think this habit of writing as a useless waste of time, but it is a very important utilization of time. Like that. So if we reflect upon that, what mistakes I did in the past and how to avoid it now. Whose mic is on? Okay. Kindly keep your mic muted. So we can reflect on these things. New Year is a time of reflection. Like that. So when we reflect what good others have done, it will nourish our gratitude. When we reflect what mistakes I have done, it will breed humility, like that. We understand so many mistakes I did, and it will help us to improve. And based on this assessment, we can plan. We can plan for a future, what I need to plan now for the future, what priorities I'm going to pursue in future, what I'm supposed to do. in the coming year. So that's what a new year brings for us, like that. So the Shastras are telling the definition of Krapana. Krapana means miser. In Hindi, it means conjuice. So generally, a miser person is one who does not spend money. He has money, but he does not spend money, right? But this is a half definition of miser. Full definition of miser means what? He neither spends money for himself nor give money in charity. So he neither utilizes nor gives other to utilize that money. That is a miser. Similarly, this human form of life is considered as a great wealth. किसी को अगर मनुष्य जन्म मिला है तो शास्त्रों के अकॉर्डिंग उसको बहुत बड़ा संपत्ति मिला है. तो शास्त्र से if someone dies without attaining the goal of life, he is called as miser. मनुष्य जन्म मिलने के बाद भी इसके गोल को अचीव किए बिना किसी का डेथ हो जाता है तो उसको क्या बोला गया है? माइजर बोला गया. So in new year we can do these 4 things to begin with. First is to remember what good others have done, and to also remember what bad I have done. And second is to forget what bad others have done. Of course, this is easier said than done. But to forget what bad others have done. Why? Because when we remember what bad others have done to us, what all wrong things they did to us, it's like holding a grudge. तो आप इस संसार में देखेंगे कुछ भी गलत किसी के साथ हुआ है, व्यक्ति उसको हमेशा याद रखता है, याद रखना चाहता है, बार बार रिपीट करता है, रिफ्रेश बटन दबाते रहता है जिससे वो हमेशा फ्रेश रहता है. लेकिन when we remember what bad others have done, it's like holding a grudge. Holding a grudge means it's like holding a fire. तो अगर किसी ने जलती हुई आग को पकड़ा हुआ है तो कौन सफर करता है? The keeper suffers. Who suffers? The keeper suffers. Similarly, when we keep on reflecting upon how I have been cheated, I have been abused, I have been mistreated, how people could not understand what I am, what I wanted to do. These thoughts are not healthy thoughts. So we should start a fresh life. So we should forget what bad others have done, and we should also forget what good I have done. हाँ, तो forgetfulness का भी एक बहुत बड़ा रोल है fresh life के लिए. Why we should forget what good I have done? Because that is false ego. If I think I have done something good, it is a false ego. Why? Because it's only by the mercy of Krishna any good happens in this world. I want to do so much good, but it doesn't happen all the time. Is it not? I want to do so much of good. I want to change the world, but can I change the world? Oh, I can only change the world when Krishna allows. So any good happens, behind that good is Krishna. So that is why we should forget what good I have done, because that is false ego. We understand that by mercy of Krishna, some good happens through a rotten or a bad instrument like me also, like that. So these exercises, when we have these 4 exercises, it will put us in a right tune to set the right priorities. And then we start a fresh life. We should think, now in this year, how should I plan my Krishna consciousness? Like that. Krishna has given me one more year. Because 31st December, lakhs of people might have died. And for them, they might not have seen the 1st January 2023. Is it not? Around the world, lakhs of people might have died on 31st January. But Krishna allowed us to enter into this new year. So how I am going to plan my Krishna consciousness in this new year? Like that. What are the priorities I am going to set in this new year? Like that. So one of the very important things we have to plan is, there is an external world and there is an internal world. External world, we are already conscious and we are already planning. Is it not? एक बाहर की दुनिया है जिसके लिए हम ऑलरेडी प्लानिंग करते हैं. हम अपने आप प्लानिंग करते हैं. हर कोई प्लानिंग करता है. बाहर की दुनिया है, हमारा कैरियर कैसे होगा, उसके लिए हमको प्लानिंग करनी चाहिए और हम करते हैं. हाँ, व्यक्ति का घर कैसा होगा, बहुत प्लानिंग करता है. कैसा फर्नीचर होना चाहिए, कैसा एलिवेशन होना चाहिए, किस कलर का पेंट होना चाहिए, विंडोज में ग्लास कौन से होने चाहिए. एक छोटी छोटी चीज भी व्यक्ति प्लान करता है. वो लैच ऐसे हैं, वो कैसे होने चाहिए, कर्टेन्स कैसे होने चाहिए. कोई व्यक्ति जो कपड़े पहनता है बहुत प्लानिंग करता है. तो वो खेलने जाता है तो वो स्पोर्ट्स वियर पहनता है. हाँ, फिर वो मैरिज में जाता है तो स्पोर्ट्स वियर पहन के नहीं जाता है, राइट. मैरिज के कपड़े पहन के जाता है. वही व्यक्ति योगा करता है तो योगा के लिए अलग. तो एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड के लिए हम लोग बहुत कॉन्शियस रहते हैं. लेकिन एक है हमारा इनर वर्ल्ड. इनर वर्ल्ड क्या है? अंदर की दुनिया. हाँ, जो अंदर की दुनिया है वो हमारे लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है. क्यों? क्योंकि जो अंदर चल रहा है वो हमको ज्यादा अफेक्ट करता है. हालांकि जो बाहर चल रहा है वो भी इम्पोर्टेंट है. बैलेंस चाहिए दोनों के बीच में. हाँ, so I was giving this example that जैसे कोई म्यूजिशियन है, तो जो म्यूजिशियन है ना, तो जब वो म्यूजिक परफॉर्म करता है, जैसे कोई गिटारिस्ट है वो गिटार बजा रहा है, तो जब वो गिटार का शो में परफॉर्म करता है तो कितने लोग तालियां बजा रहे हैं उसके शो में, वो है एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड. वो उसका सेटिस्फेक्शन डिपेंड करता है कितने लोग तालियां बजा रहे हैं. लेकिन जब वो अपना फुल एफर्ट देता है, he might be closing his eyes and he's putting his best, he's playing the guitar. Even if no audience is there, still he will feel satisfied. Nobody is clapping, but he is satisfied. So this satisfaction is an inner world. Getting the point? जैसे कोई स्टूडेंट है, तो जब वो पढ़ाई कर रहा है, किसी एग्जाम की तैयारी कर रहा है, तो जब वो कोई एग्जाम क्रैक करता है तो कितने फोन आते हैं, कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन कॉन्ग्रेचुलेशन, यू डिड इट, और अखबार में आपका फोटो आ गया. ये है एक्सटर्नल वर्ल्ड. बट द सेटिस्फैक्शन व्हिच ही गेट बिकॉज ही डिड हिज बेस्ट, that is called as internal satisfaction, the inner world. So of course external world also matters to us to some degree, because what the people are thinking, how they are perceiving, like that. But definitely more important is the inner world, like that, because the inner feelings are not dependent on external factors and they are more sustainable, like that. So what satisfies the heart is this practice of bhakti. सवे पुंसा परो धर्मो यतो भक्ति यथोक्षजे अहेतुकी अप्रतिहता ययात्मा सुप्रसिद्धति. तो सुद गोस्वामी is telling 5500 years ago that ये आत्मा को पूरी तरह से क्या संतुष्ट करने वाला है. कौन सी ऐसी चीज है जो इस आत्मा को पूरी तरह संतुष्ट करेगी? वो क्या है? भगवान की भक्ति. अहेतुकी अप्रतिहता, unmotivated and selfless. So when unmotivated, selfless devotional service we will do in our life, that will give us full satisfaction. So in this new year, we should make resolutions to make our inner world more beautiful, because that inner world matters a lot to us. It will affect our life a lot. 5500 years ago, Krishna came and gave Bhagavad Gita. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna told, सर्वधर्मान परित्यज्य मामेकम शरणम व्रज. सारे धर्मों को छोड़ के आप मेरी शरण में आओ. अहम त्वाम सर्व पापेभ्यो मोक्षयिष्यामि मा शुचा. मैं तुम्हारा ध्यान रखूंगा, तुम्हारे सारे पापों से मुक्त कर दूंगा. But it is not an easy thing to do, is it not? It's not an easy thing to do. So 500 years back again, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. The same Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he told and he demonstrated, Harer Naam, Harer Naam eva kevalam, kalau nastiev, 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 gatiranyatha. He came and he demonstrated how to do this practice of bhakti. To chant the holy name and participate in the Sankirtan, take the food which is offered to the Lord. And that is how he gave a very practical process in this age of Kali Yuga, like that. So when we engage in these activities of reading, hearing, chanting, so whatever we have been doing in the last year, in this year, we should take a resolution to at least change the inner world. Reading, hearing, chanting. These are simple activities, but very powerful. Krishna told it 5,500 years ago, and 500 years ago, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu demonstrated it like that. And few years ago, Srila Prabhupada spread it all around the world, and he gave us the process. He gave us the process, how to make life beautiful, how to change the inner world. And Prabhupada demonstrated by changing the life of so many hippies. They became so happy after practicing. So we should take this resolution to change this inner world by making stadia, reading, hearing, chanting in this new year. These are simple processes, but very, very powerful process. So in this world, whenever we take any resolution or anything we wanting to do, so first thing we required is inspiration. कुछ भी संसार में करना है तो सबसे पहले प्रेरणा की आवश्यकता है. जब प्रेरणा होती है तो व्यक्ति कुछ करता है. We need inspiration. So we get inspiration. We get inspiration from devotees by our reading, by hearing, association. But inspiration is not sufficient to sustain. Inspiration is good to start. तो बहुत सारे लोग नए साल में रेजोल्यूशंस लेते हैं, डिवोटीज भी बहुत रेजोल्यूशंस लेते हैं. तो किसी एक व्यक्ति ने बोला है कि the only resolution I have been able to keep till now in my life is I will never take any New Year resolutions. This is the only resolution I have kept till now. Generally बहुत सारे लोगों का ये भी स्थिति होता है. एक हफ्ते बाद आप पूछेंगे रेजोल्यूशन क्या है तो वही भूल गया है वो कि रेजोल्यूशन क्या लिया था. तो रेजोल्यूशन लेने के लिए इंस्पिरेशन चाहिए, लेकिन इंस्पिरेशन आती है और चली जाती है. वो लहरों की तरह होती है, समुद्र की लहर आती है जाती है. इंस्पिरेशन इज गुड टू स्टार्ट बट इट कैन नॉट कीप अस सस्टेन्ड ऑलवेज. तो जब किसी इंस्पिरेशन से व्यक्ति कोई कार्य स्टार्ट करता है तो उसको लगता है कि ये हमेशा ऐसे ही रहना चाहिए. जिस इंस्पिरेशन और एंथुसियाज्म के साथ मैंने स्टार्ट किया है वो वैसे ही रहना चाहिए, लेकिन वो हमेशा वैसे नहीं रहती है. बिकॉज इंस्पिरेशन इज मोमेंटरी. And that is why the second system is conviction. We need conviction to sustain anything. That is why whatever we are planning to take, whatever goals we are making in this new year, whatever positive changes we want to make in our life, so we should plan and we should write down and we should think about the reasons. Intelligence has to be involved. तो जब इंटेलिजेंस रहती है तो थोड़ा लंबे समय तक वो स्टेडी रहता है. क्योंकि इंस्पिरेशन क्या है, जो कल थी वो हो सकता है आज ना रहे, तो फिर क्या है वो सस्टेन नहीं कर पाएगा. लेकिन इंटेलिजेंस इज मोर कन्विंसिंग. जैसे एक माँ होती है, अपने बच्चे को ले जाती है डॉक्टर के पास, डॉक्टर इंजेक्शन लगाता है, बच्चा नहीं चाहता है, बच्चा रो रहा है और बच्चे को दर्द हो रहा है, और बच्चे के दर्द को देख के माँ को बच्चे से ज्यादा दर्द होता है. लेकिन माँ को इंटेलेक्चुअली पता है कि इसको इसकी जरूरत है. इसी तरह जब हम इंटेलिजेंस के लेवल पर फंक्शन करते हैं तो वी डोंट वर्क ऑन लाइक्स एंड डिसलाइक. वी गेट अप अर्ली इन द मॉर्निंग बिकॉज वी अंडरस्टैंड दैट विल प्लीज कृष्णा. वी आर रीडिंग द स्क्रिप्चर बिकॉज वी नो दैट विल प्लीज कृष्णा, दैट विल प्यूरिफाई द हार्ट. वी आर चैंटिंग द होली नेम. लाइक और डिसलाइक के लेवल पे नहीं है, इंटेलिजेंस के लेवल पे. वी अंडरस्टैंड, वी मे नॉट लाइक इट बट वी नो इट इज गुड. मेडिसिन मे नॉट बी टेस्टी बट इट इज इफेक्टिव. तो वो इंटेलिजेंस के लेवल पे. पर कन्विक्शन होने के बाद भी कई बार क्या होता है, इंस्पिरेशन भी है और कन्विक्शन भी है, तभी भी अगर सपोर्ट सिस्टम नहीं है तो चीज फ्लॉप हो जाती है थोड़े टाइम बाद. तो एक बहुत इंस्पिरेशन से हम चीजों को स्टार्ट करते हैं जीवन में. कोई लेक्चर सुनते हैं, कुछ सुनते हैं कि इंस्पिरेशन आ जाता है, और फिर अपना इंटेलिजेंस लगाते हैं कि क्यों मुझे ये करना चाहिए. मैं सुबह जल्दी उठना नहीं चाहता हूँ, लेकिन क्यों उठना चाहिए, उसके रीजन ढूंढने चाहिए. वो रीजन लिख लेने चाहिए। हाँ, तो अलार्म बजेगा तो एक अलार्म बाहर बजता है, एक अंदर बजता है। वो बाहर वाला अलार्म है, वो बोल रहा है आप उठ जाइए, आप उठ जाइए। और अंदर वाला अलार्म है, वो बोल रहा है इतनी जल्दी क्या है। तो बीच बीच में अगर आपने वो थॉट्स लिखे हैं कि मुझे क्यों उठना चाहिए, तो वो थॉट्स भी आएंगे, इट विल हेल्प यू आउट। लेकिन फिर भी क्या होता है, इस संसार में का ये स्वभाव है कि समय के साथ चीजें नीचे होती है, डाउन जाती है, ग्रेविटी पुल्स अस डाउन, ऊपर नहीं जाती। तो इसीलिए हमको एक सपोर्ट सिस्टम चाहिए। तो सपोर्ट सिस्टम में चीजें आसान हो जाती है। संसार में कोई भी चीज हमको लाइफ में अपनानी है, दो चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है। अनुकूलस्य संकल्पा, प्रतिकूलस्य वर्जनम। संकल्प पूर्वक अनुकूल चीज को ग्रहण करना चाहिए और प्रतिकूल चीज को संकल्प पूर्वक उसको वर्जित करना चाहिए। तो सपोर्ट सिस्टम का मतलब क्या है, जो भी हम करना चाहते हैं उसके अकॉर्डिंग एक सपोर्ट सिस्टम क्रिएट करना चाहिए। हाँ, अभी जैसे कोई व्यक्ति मंदिर जाना चाहता है, उसकी इच्छा है कि उसने रेजोल्यूशन लिया कि मैं अब हर दिन सुबह मंदिर में जाके मंगल आरती करूंगा। लेकिन उसका घर है वो मंदिर से 15-20 किलोमीटर दूर है। हाँ, तो उसने रेजोल्यूशन तो लिया, लेकिन डेली उसको विल पावर खर्च करनी पड़ेगी। अभी सुबह उठेगा, कभी बारिश हो रही है तो लगेगा अरे बारिश हो रही है, अंधेरे में क्या होगा। कभी लगेगा अरे आज तो ट्रैफिक है, क्या होगा। करेक्ट। लेकिन अगर उसका घर एकदम मंदिर के बाजू में है, 1 किलोमीटर पे, और वो रेजोल्यूशन लेता है कि मंदिर में मंगल, तो उसके लिए रिलेटिवली बहुत ईजी है। समझ गए आप, सपोर्ट सिस्टम उसने क्रिएट कर दिया है। ऐसे ही जहाँ पे भी हम लोग रहते हैं, जैसे हम लोगों को चैंटिंग करना है, कई लोगों के घर पे इस तरह का मंदिर टाइप का कोई टेम्पल हॉल नहीं रहता है, कुछ एक सिचुएशन नहीं रहती। तो अगर घर में ऑलरेडी एक टेम्पल हॉल बना हुआ है, एक अच्छा हॉल है, क्लीन है, कारपेट है, भगवान के फोटो लगे हैं, प्रभुपाद जी का ट्यून चल रहा है, तो ऑलरेडी उसको जब करना है, लेकिन वो हॉल अगर है तो बहुत ईजी हो जाता है। और सपोज ऐसी कोई फैसिलिटी नहीं है उसके घर पे या जहाँ पे भी वो रह रहा है, और रूम वाले रूममेट हैं, कोई एक मूवी चला रहा है। हाँ। तो किसी के में कोई हॉलीवुड का मूवी चल रहा है, दूसरे के में बॉलीवुड का मूवी चल रहा है, और तीसरे के में ये, हाँ, स्पिरिचुअल स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड का चैनल चला रहा है, हरे कृष्ण मंत्र का। तो क्या है, ज्यादा विल पावर लगेगी। हम्म, क्योंकि सपोर्ट सिस्टम नहीं है, पर डिफिकल्ट हो जाएगा उसके लिए। ये तो सपोर्ट सिस्टम क्रिएट करना चाहिए। कोई प्रभुपाद जो बुक्स पढ़ना चाहता है तो पहले होनी चाहिए प्रभुपाद बुक्स। हाँ, अभी किसी को लेक्चर सुनना है, हाँ, उसकी एक शैकल से हेयरिंग करूंगा, लेकिन मोबाइल में कोई लेक्चर डाला ही नहीं है उसने। हाँ, हेयरिंग का डिवाइस नहीं है तो कैसे करेगा। तो सपोर्ट सिस्टम क्रिएट करना चाहिए। मोबाइल में भगवान का वॉलपेपर होना, भगवान का ट्यून होना, मोबाइल में ऑलरेडी जो हम लेक्चर सुनना चाहते हैं ये सब होना चाहिए। जब वॉर में कोई सोल्जर जाता है तो ऐसे ऐसे ही नहीं है कि मतलब टॉवेल पहन के वो वॉर पे निकल गया, थोड़ा घूम के आता हूँ और फिर में क्या चल रहा है थोड़ा देख के आता हूँ। ही गोज विथ फुली आर्म्ड, राइट। Whatever he has, he is fully equipped and fully armed, and in that way he goes on the battlefield. Similarly, we are at war with Maya, so we have to prepare ourselves. Support system like that. So before we sleep in the night, we know what we are going to do when we get up in the morning, what we want to read, hear, or chant, like that. Then when we start our day, we know how we want to spend our day. If we don't know, then Maya will engage us in things which we don't want to, like that. Getting the point? So it is important for us to understand these factors. It is important for us to understand these factors and create a support system, right? Support system for reading, for hearing, for chanting. Like some people, they chant, some get up early to chant extra round. It's kind of support system. So when they get up early, they should know where I will go, where I will chant. So if such kind of facilities are there, it's easy, like that. तो और जो नेगेटिव है उसको अवॉइड करने का सपोर्ट सिस्टम रहना चाहिए। तो अगर कोई है उसको प्रॉपर बुक पढ़ना है और ऑलरेडी एक रीडिंग का रूम है, स्टडी रूम, या जैसे हमारे वॉइसेस में रहता है, या लाइब्रेरी है, साधना रूम है, सो इट बिकम्स वेरी इजी। वो जैसे ही वहां पे जाता है वो उसी चीज के लिए वो रूम बना हुआ है, तो वहां बैठ के आजकल आप देखते हैं लाइब्रेरीज का भी एक बिजनेस बहुत बड़ा हुआ है, राइट। लाइब्रेरीज लोग खोलते हैं, वहां पे स्टूडेंट जस्ट आते हैं, पे करते हैं जस्ट पढ़ने के लिए। तो ये सपोर्ट सिस्टम है, तो सपोर्ट सिस्टम से इजी हो जाता है। तो सपोर्ट सिस्टम जैसे डिवोटीज एसोसिएशन, तो जब हम डिवोटी एसोसिएशन में रहते हैं इजी हो जाता है भक्ति करना। अभी डिवोटीज एसोसिएशन से बहुत दूर है, आप में से कुछ लोग घर पे रह रहे हैं, राइट, कुछ लोग आप घर पे हैं, कुछ लोग और भी कहीं कहीं हैं, तो ठीक है, लेकिन हो सकता है उतना हेल्दी ना हो, उतना हेल्दी ना हो स्पिरिचुअल लाइफ के लिए कई बार। सो घर पे भी रहना अच्छा है अगर डिवोटीज के साथ रह रहे हैं, लेकिन जनरली थोड़ा चैलेंजिंग हो जाता है। वी शुड बी विद अ सिमिलर काइंड ऑफ लाइक माइंडेड पीपल। सिमिलरली नेगेटिव चीज को अवॉइड करना चाहिए, जो भी आप करना चाहते हैं। जैसे कोई शराब छोड़ना चाहता है लेकिन उसकी नौकरी बियर बार में है, हाँ, वो शराब छोड़ना चाहता है लेकिन बियर बार में जॉब कर रहा है, तो बहुत मुश्किल हो जाएगा उसके लिए। वो रेजोल्यूशन लेगा, फिर रेजोल्यूशन का डिसोल्यूशन होगा, हाँ, क्यों? क्योंकि वो तो बियर बार में ही नौकरी कर रहा है ना। इसी तरह इन आवर लाइफ व्हेन वी टेक रेजोल्यूशंस वी हैव टू मेक श्योर दीज टू थिंग्स चेंजेस। अभी हम लोग जिस सिचुएशन में, अगर वहाँ बहुत ज्यादा टेम्पटेशंस हैं, अल्यूरमेंट्स हैं, जो चीज अवॉइड करना चाहते हैं उससे बहुत ज्यादा इंटरेक्शन होता है, तो उसको अवॉइड करना मुश्किल हो जाता है, उसको अवॉइड करना हमारे लिए मुश्किल हो जाता है। लेकिन तो अगर एक ऐसे इन्वायरमेंट में रहें जहाँ टेम्पटेशंस कम है, तो नेचुरली वो हमारे लिए इजी हो जाएगा उसको करना, उस रेजोल्यूशन को मेंटेन करना। तो हमको पॉजिटिव रेजोल्यूशंस लेने चाहिए, उनके लिए सपोर्ट सिस्टम क्रिएट करना चाहिए, जो टेम्पटेशंस है उनके लिए ऑब्स्टेकल्स क्रिएट करना चाहिए, और आचार्य से प्रे करते हुए, क्योंकि हमारी स्ट्रेंथ पे हम लोग कुछ भी नहीं कर सकते। So in a humble mood, praying to the acharyas, praying to the Vaishnavas to help us to make it better, to have a better life, to have a better Krishna consciousness. We have a workable resolutions. Or resolutions may we have some limits. We have some situations where we are able to, we should not be very, very rigid. We should not keep it very rigid. Because if it is very rigid, then it becomes sometimes difficult. क्योंकि जो बहुत रिजिड चीज होती है तो वो कैसा होता है, ये डिटर्मिनेशन इन पैशन होता है। आप देखेंगे 18 चैप्टर में लिखा है, वो रिजल्ट से बहुत अफेक्ट होता है, डिटर्मिनेशन इन पैशन। तो किसी ने प्लान किया रोज 1 घंटा भागवतम पढ़ूंगा, हाँ, और अभी तक केवल 10-15 मिनट का ही चल रहा है उसका, और 1 घंटे का उसने प्लान कर लिया, 1 दिन 2 दिन 3 दिन, लेकिन कभी बहुत बिजी हो गया तो सिस्टम अफेक्ट हो जाएगा। फिर उसको लगेगा जब कर ही नहीं सकते फिर क्या मतलब है, तो प्रैक्टिकली नहीं, छोड़ ही दो, फिर जीरो कर देगा। These are the symptom of determination of passion. So we should try every day, but there should be some also workable zones we keep in reading or hearing or chanting. जैसे कोई 4 राउंड एक्स्ट्रा करना चाहता है, but it is okay. In a week maybe in a week I'll chant some 20 extra rounds. Daily I will try to chant 4 extra rounds, but in a week, or suppose daily I will read 1 hour Bhagavatam, or in a week 7 hour Bhagavatam. So he can match it up. Suppose someday half an hour less, then some other day he has an opportunity to match it up like that. So new year means new plans for making Krishna consciousness better, to evolve our Krishna consciousness better than where it was in 2022. So first step in making change is assessment of the old. 2022 we can assess how I was practicing Ekadashi, how many Ekadashis I could perform, and how I was chanting, what was my status of reading, hearing, what was the major challenges, and now I should change it. Because I do not know 2024 is in my horoscope or not. You don't know what it will be. So let's do whatever we can. Bhaktitit Maharaj would say, give me the garlands when I am alive. Like that. So garlands are put on people when they go also. So he would say, give me the garlands when I am alive. So whatever you want to do, let's do it now. Because when we do it now, it's a good opportunity. Something better. Krishna consciousness means always evolving. Evolution for something better. Prabhupada gave us so much. Acharyas gave us so much. and so much opportunity we have like that. So from somewhere, some little Krishna consciousness habit we have to start. So we have to start. So it begins with inspiration, then we need conviction, and third, we need support system like that. And ultimately, everything will sustain to the degree there is purification. Because till the time the heart is not fully purified, despite all these things, mind will sometime go towards negative things, dirty things, unhealthy things. But by the process of bhakti, which is the most purifying process, as the heart will become purified, mind will give up the inclinations towards negative things. Then naturally, you will do only positive thing. And that's what we are looking for. In life, we are looking for such a change that the all contaminated, all the material desires are gone away forever, like that. But to have that, we have to start with something positive, like that. Because as the time is changing, we can see 20, 25, 30 years are gone and it's same old life. Huh? So one person says, don't live the same year 30 times, 40 times, or 80 times and call it a new year. Right? We live a new life. Devotee's life means we want to evolve like that. And these processes are by nature, reading, hearing, chanting. Now with a bhakti is such a process, it makes life ever new. Wherever a devotee is, wherever he is living, whatever he is doing, if he is properly doing reading, hearing, and chanting, every day is a new day, like that. And he's trying to serve the devotees, trying to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada. Life is beautiful. So the change may be pleasurable or painful, but if it is according to the scripture and in the right direction, it's always beautiful, like that. That way. So that is the way we try to make some resolutions to make New Year a real New Year in terms of a new and better consciousness that way. So thank you very much. Any comments, questions? Vavapru, how is the schedule there?
Hare
What is the
Krishna,
time? Hare Krishna. What is the time there? You are where? Paris?
Yes, Guruji. It's 3 o'clock.
Okay.
PM.
Afternoon, 3 o'clock afternoon.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Any reflections?
So thank you, Guruji, for sharing this. I'll try to work upon making some support system, which you told that even after having conviction, we may falter sometime because of we are not able to make the right support system for us. So I'll try to have more association of devotees and try to make a strong support system so that I can be steady. Hare Krishna.
Good. Thank you. You are already steady. But it will help you to grow more. Yes.
Thank you.
Anybody wants to add? Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes, Ajay Prabhu.
Prabhuji, like initially you were sharing that we should forget about what some wrong thing done by others. So Prabhuji, ऐसे like the in our material life, क्योंकि फैमिलीज में होता है, बहुत सारे लोग बोलते हैं कि इसने ये किया, इसने ऐसे किया, तो वो चीजें बार बार माइंड में आती रहती हैं. तो वो बार बार आने से क्या होता है, वो रिफ्रेश होता रहता है, तो वो भूलने के बजाय वो और ज्यादा उसका रिमेम्बरेंस बढ़ता है. और इन केस जब हम कुछ चीजें अचीव करते हैं तो वो चीजें और ज्यादा टेम्परिंग करती हैं, बिकॉज वी आर इंक्रीजिंग सम लेवल, तो वो चीजें और लगता है कि अफेक्ट करती हैं. तो उस सिचुएशन में क्या करना चाहिए, क्योंकि सामने वाला पर्सन, उसको जो भी मिस्टेक है, ही इज नॉट एग्री टू एक्सेप्ट दैट थिंग. तो यदि हम उसको इग्नोर करते हैं, उसको फॉरगेट करते हैं, तो हो सकता है कि वो दोबारा वो कमिट करे. तो हम क्या एक्शन लें जो हमें भी मतलब फायदे के लिए रहे, डिवोशन के लिए और मटेरियली भी.
That is why somehow the world is designed in such a way that everything has its time also. Because we are not the controllers. We may observe certain things. We may try to change it also. We may give corrections also sometimes, but not necessarily that even after correction the person will change. And most often the person may also know what mistakes he is making. Like that. So when we say we should forget, that is why it is important to at least not refresh. जो भी गलत हुआ है या जो गलत चीज है उस पर बहुत ज्यादा डिस्कशन आइडल नहीं करना, स्पेशली जो फैमिली इश्यूज रहते हैं, क्योंकि फैमिली इश्यूज पे व्यक्ति बहुत डिस्कस करता है. तो क्या होता है वो, लेकिन डिस्कशन नहीं करना है ना, वो भी उसके हाथ में नहीं है. क्योंकि उसको कुछ तो डिस्कशन करना है, उसको कुछ तो डिस्कशन करना है. तो क्या है, एक ही ऑल्टरनेटिव है. देयर इज नो ऑल्टरनेटिव ऑफ ग्रोथ. ईदर यू ग्रो और यू विल कम डाउन. तो क्या है, ओनली व्हेन वी ग्रो इन कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस एंड वी हैव पॉजिटिव टॉपिक्स टू डिस्कस अबाउट कृष्णा एंड डिवोटीज, we'll be able to avoid these things. Because till that time we do not have something positive, we discuss about the same negative thing, we refresh it, it becomes all the more fresh, and it's like holding a fire, and when you hold a fire the keeper suffers. Like that. That is why it's also important to have a grateful heart. अगर grateful heart नहीं है ना, तो व्यक्ति क्या है, बहुत सफरिंग बढ़ा लेता है इस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड में. जिसका ग्रेटफुल हार्ट है, he is living in the spirit of thank you. So many people did so much for me. So many devotees did so much for me. Like that. I don't deserve it. I don't deserve it. So many people are doing so. Then that's what actually our acharyas are teaching us, how to be happy. So when person is reflecting on this, how much has been done for me, then he will have less time for thinking what wrong thing others did to me. Like that. But when he does not take this positive initiative of thinking what good others have done for me, naturally the mind digress to this kind of thought process that what wrong things have happened to me. तो क्या है, नीचे जाने के लिए तो वो नेचुरल स्लोप है माइंड का, ऊपर जाने के लिए इनिशिएटिव लगता है. That's why it's very important to have a grateful heart, grateful thoughts. How Krishna made life so wonderful, how Krishna gave so many opportunities, how Prabhupada did, how Prabhupada has blessed us so much. So many wonderful yatras, so many wonderful festivals in association of devotees, so many wonderful services, is it not? So much wonderful things Krishna has given, like that. So when we keep thanking it again and again, we relive those moments, and the heart is very ready, like that. And that is the way to avoid something negative also. That's my thought. Somebody wants to add in this.
Just one more point into that.
Yes.
With this gratefulness to be, because we have some enmity to that person, we remember that. So that enmity can be gone if we pray for that person as well. Then the root of enmity will go away, then that has an also not.
Yes, very beautiful point Umang Prabhu added. So when we feel envy for someone, generally what we think again and again, where there are strong feelings. Strong feelings are generally there in love and enmity. So love does not exist in this world. It's a property of spiritual world. Okay. So the other part is more prominent. So when there is enmity, so very strong feelings are there. So that is why one of the way to come out of that enmity is we should pray for that person. And it is a very, very powerful tool. Bhakti Tirth Maharaj says, very powerful tool. If we are feeling very angry, very envious for someone, let's take a time and chant one round for him. And when we pray for him and really want to do, that will grow our Krishna consciousness, and our enmity will also reduce. Thank you very much for the addition. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. So please plan your new year nicely. Take care. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.